Have you ever seen one of those huge ramps and wondered if you could make one yourself? Well, today we're going to find out if you can and what the pros and cons are. The first order of business is to watch Liam horribly fail at making a sketch of what this ramp is going to look like.
No!
The next order of business was to actually get to building this thing. With the boards outside, we're going to set up our tape measure to make sure that our radius is going to be centered on them and measured well. And now that we're set up, it's time for Liam to mark this radius, which I think is 10 feet. And of course, to make any sort of cut, we need a saw, so let's unbox it. This saw was really nice for this task because it's a 4.5-inch blade, which made cutting those tight radiuses nice and easy. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Genius.
Perfect. Alright, let's go make this cut. Alright, well, first time doing this, let's give this a shot. If you haven't already noticed, that's a circular saw, which shouldn't be able to cut radiuses, but you actually can. If you go nice and slow and use a small blade like we are, it works pretty well. Next, I'm going to cut out a little section to go at the top part of our radius to finish it out. Now it's just rinse and repeat for the other side. And with that, we're all done cutting radiuses, or radii. Okay, so I'm not going to do this the correct way. We need to just chop a little bit off of here, and really I should have my hand over here, but I don't feel like turning it around because we just don't have that much room. So, don't try this at home, I guess. Okay, so we have cut our radiuses out and we trimmed them to length. So we have this one and this one, but now we need to attach this little guy to these boys. So we're gonna align this and then just screw these little strut thingy, whatever you want to call them, in. If Liam would have focused the camera, you would have been able to see a little bit better, but basically I'm just starting by screwing the bottom part into the little strut. Because this piece was so tiny, it was very prone to splitting, so I had to go nice and slow while screwing it in. Wonderful. Give me that back, you thief. There we go. So you're probably wondering about this wonderful craftsmanship. Well, that's because this is going to be on the inside of the ramp, and we just don't have anything less than a 2-inch. So we just have some protruders, but they're going to be inside the ramp, and it should be fine. And once again, it was just rinse and repeat for the other side. Alright, so now that we have our radiuses cut and everything's like mostly assembled, we're gonna get some decking cut and then we'll go to my house and put that all on. So let's do it. Okay, so now we've laid out all of the boards. Looks quite nice, but let's teleport over to my house and get the legs and the ribs installed. All right, so now we're at my house. Let's put these stringers or struts in and put the decking on. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna cut these struts out, and even though we have a couple of workbenches here, we're still using the ground because they are covered in stuff. Let's get to work. All right, so now we have all of our stringers cut. Let's get these boys screwed together. Okay, so we have this clamped in here so that it kind of like holds itself in place. So we're gonna put the first board on, and then we're gonna start attaching the boards to the struts, and then we can individually put those in, and then the spacing will be perfect. So let's start doing that. Okay, let's be real, that made 0 sense. Basically, we're just installing the boards. All right, so now that we have put the struts in and put 8 of the 10 decking boards on, we are now going to take a pause on that because we need to cut the transition. As you can see right now, we're not really able to get onto the actual lip. So we need to cut that so that it's nice and smooth, but first we need to get the legs on so we can find out the angle. So let's get legging. Okay, so we kind of forgot to film, but it kind of required both of us to finagle it. But basically, we stood this up and we struck this line, and that is the angle that we were gonna cut this at. So let's open this boy up and get it cut. There we go. Yo, are you stuck? There it goes. Let's do it. Shut up, car. Ringy dingy. All right, so we have now cut our legs. Let's do a nice little test fit. Oh, mine is beautiful. How is yours?
I'm sorry, you're gonna need to close me.
Set it down. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, no. Bring that back. There we go. All right, so now we have these pretty large lag screws that we are going to install.
So we weren't recording, but we tried to install the lag bolt in there and we broke the head off, so let's try to fix that.
And after a lot of standing around, looking at this thing and trying things that didn't work, we ended up pretty much right back where we started. But of course the weather started to play with us, so we had to clean up, move our stuff in case we needed to pull the car in. And then we realized that we're just dumb. We actually need to cut the transition first, and so we have a leg that's stuck on that we don't actually need. Okay, per usual, we forgot to start recording, but our solution for getting this stuck bolt out is we're gonna take this top plank off. And then we should be able to use this like a massive wrench. Perfect.
Okay. So I think that would have just come out if we pulled it hard enough.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so this is stuck in here, and we tried to use like channel locks or vice grips to get it out, but that no work. So resort to this. Beautiful. Reinstall this top plank, have it back up on its legs, and now we're gonna draw the angles.
So this should work if we just align the corners.
Then we should be able to just go like that. We'll have a nice straight line.
And we'll do that.
We'll chop that. And then we should have a good transition. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that should work, right? Wrong. Of course not. We're the ones doing this. Yes, cutting the bottom would mean that it would sit flat, but to make it sit flat, it would be sitting at like a 50-degree angle, so that just wouldn't really work as a ramp. Really, we should have cut the top, but we didn't, so... Then we cut the other side. Also, sorry about the horrible lighting in these shots. And then we realized our stupid mistake. Okay, so now we are going to flip this back over, put the legs on, and hope that the transition looks good. The key word there is hope. We were very much hoping, and we were very much wrong. I think it's pretty good, actually.
Bruh.
Oh, wait, no, the transition's not.
Wait a minute.
The legs are good. So then Liam came up with an idea, I say in quotation marks, which we thought was going to work, but it didn't, of course. Then we decided to just cut more, which I guess there wasn't really much else we could do, but we did it, and I can't really say it made it better.
Guys, how do you like my new Tesla Cybertruck?
Okay, so we are now going to install this here, just so we have a little bit more to screw onto. You probably can't see anything, camera. Womp. You are so dumb.
I'm so nice.
Anyway, with that set back up, we're gonna install this little stringer or strut thingy, and then put the board on. Just be not good if it's split.
No.
No! Alright, so that's one for each of us. Okay, next screw. So now we have some smaller screws, and we're just gonna toe screw into the radius and hope it works. This one didn't split, yay! And with that done, it's finally time to actually install the legs. First, I'm going to drill a quick pilot hole just to make sure the head of the screw can sit inside the leg and actually bite. Not exactly the most straight, but then for the other side. Probably good, right? Then it was time to attempt to sink some screws in. You gonna bite? Bite! There, oh! Probably good. And you should know the drill by now. Same for the other side. Perfect. Then it was just a whole lot of impact to make sure that these legs were really on there. Right now, I'm screwing through the back of the radius into the leg to just pull everything together. Okay, so I think we have finished our nice ramp. Beautiful ramp. We're gonna get cleaned up, and then I think we'll get some sick B-roll and stare at this beauty. Before we can get to installing this thing, we have something we need to build first. If you can't tell what this thing is now, you'll probably find out later, but first we're gonna drill some holes. Of course, my time-lapse settings were incorrect, so this is kind of the best I got. Alright, so here we are at the watercolor bike jumps, and today we're going to install our wonderful MTB flopper. Okay, right there. Got it. Just go to Liam's bike. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that's probably good. Oh, alright, now we have the delivery of the hopper, and we are going to go put it down at Big Boy, so let's get down there and look at what we're dealing with. Oh, all right, we're just gonna take it down there. All right, so down here at Big Boy, this is like a big gap step up thing, kinda-ish. And we have a pretty bad lip and a horrible landing. So we're gonna clean up this lip, probably put it in basically the same spot. It's gonna be a lot more poppier, so we might have to move it forward a bit. and then fix up the landing, and we'll have a pretty sweet jump. All right, so first thing we're gonna do here is we're just gonna see if it will fit over top of the lip, and then what adjustments we're gonna need to make. I mean,
That's a good start.
that's pretty good. Okay, so upon further inspection, that's not gonna happen. All right, well, we kind of accidentally put it in like a perfect spot, so we're stopping for a quick test break. Oh God, I mean, what are we doing? Just put it there. That's perfect. That's good, actually.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm just gonna set up a time lapse and kind of dismantle this lip, put the dirt off to the side, and then put the ramp in and see how it looks. So let's do it. This lip had been here for quite a while, and the dirt was pretty tough and hard to take apart. The other thing is we kind of just wanted to ride this thing, and we were having some overheating problems while filming, so the filming isn't gonna be great. All right, let's see how this fits. For maybe 3 or 4 times, we kind of just went like this, test fitting and digging and test fitting and digging until we got it. So pretty horrible. Push it towards me. There you go. All right, so we have marked out some locations. We're just gonna start digging and clearing out the rest of this lip. Okay, so after a lot of repetitions, just taking it out, digging more, putting it back in, digging more. We didn't really film a lot of it because overheating, but now that we have it in, I think we're in a good spot to kind of start building up a transition, filling in some of the sides, and filling in those post holes. So let's get to that, and then we'll be riding. All right, now for some cameraman water on here. Here, do you want me to film?
All right, so we're gonna get some water on here so we can actually pack this down and hopefully make it hard to take out.
Get it on the back.
We don't want people to come here and just rip it up. Because this has taken like 10 hours to do.
All right, first we're just gonna start brooming this a little bit so we can build up a transition on some rock solid dirt. Yeah, it looks pretty good enough.
All right, so I gotta leave because of course we have big family plans as soon as I get busy. But we'll pick up tonight and ride it.
First though, there was one more finishing touch, which you may have seen earlier. And currently, I'm finishing up editing this video, and I'm realizing that for some reason the clips of us riding this ramp are just gone. Who knows where they went? But don't worry, there will be lots of riding on this ramp because we're going to build a full wooden landing, so stay tuned for that video, and see you next time.